The third thing I'd like to talk with you about is, as we evolve into positions of leadership, we're always faced with, so what leadership style do I adopt? What will be my general approach to leading in this organization? Years ago, there was an article in the Harvard Business Review written by, it happens to be a couple of pretty good friends of mine, Robert Tannenbaum and Warren Schmidt. And they said that the article was entitled, How to Choose a Leadership Pattern. And they basically proposed that you could look on one end of a continuum and say, on this end is what the French would say, laissez-faire, which is kind of the hands-off, very benign, not get involved, all the way to the opposite end, which is the command and control, highly micromanaging, highly autocratic leader. And chances are, most of us have seen examples of both of those, right? Everybody here kind of seen some examples of people on both ends of that spectrum. Now, all the research that's been done that I can see in the last 50 years would say, where is the point on that continuum where people are the most engaged, people are the most productive, people are the most innovative and creative? Where is it on that scale? Where? Right square dab in the middle. It is this spot here where the people feel that they're truly collaborating with their boss, that you see those high levels of engagement, creativity, innovation, and high performance. So what is it that we do that helps our leaders to kind of move into the middle and not kind of practice this end, this kind of abdication, hands-off kind of management, or to practice this kind of behavior? And the conclusion I would come to is this, that it's very much around helping leaders to understand what they can do that will truly change their style of leadership, their management practices, is to be a better coach. Now, the complication as I see it about coaching is this. As you think about coaching as many of us have known it, we think back to our days in junior high school or high school. We participated in some sports team and we had this coach. And as far as I can tell, the junior high school coach comes as close to being an absolute autocrat, czar, high control person as you'll ever find. Is that kind of an accurate description? I mean, they make every decision. They say who's going to play, how long they play, who comes in, who goes out, what the call will be, what the play will be when it's the last minute kind of shot for the basket. So they are highly, highly autocratic people. Is that appropriate for a group of junior high school students? Well, I'm told that there may be some changes in coaching practices, but certainly there's some reason why that may have been an appropriate way for people to behave. But is that the way we want business coaches to coach? And the answer is, couldn't be further from where we want them to be. Indeed, in the business world, we want coaches to behave in a totally non-advice giving, non-command and control, non-directing, not pretending that they have all the answers, but to instead engage in behavior that would help people to expand their awareness, that would help people to kind of discover for themselves the optimum solution to a problem, that would help them to be more accountable for these decisions and the ultimate implementation of those decisions. So those three lessons, it seems to me, are very key lessons in leadership that I would like to kind of just have you kind of ponder as my 5-minute university approach to teaching leadership development. The consequence or the outcome of that, I think, is that it would and could transform organizations, and it does transform organizations. It does help people to understand that this is a different culture that we're living in. Let me just conclude by telling you a story that I heard that kind of for me is one of those really haunting stories that it went something like this. A young man has gone to work in the plant where his father had spent his entire life. This is a true story, by the way. The young man comes home one day to visit Dad. And Dad sort of asks him about how things are at the plant. And the young man says, well, I'm part of a self-managing work team. Our team is responsible for ordering all of our own raw materials. We design our own work processes. We set up our own schedules. If a person leaves our team, we're involved in hiring the new person who's comes on board and joins us. We get a chance to talk with the customer. If there's a problem that a customer has with any of our product or our output, we're asked to kind of call them and talk directly with them. And as this young man is describing his work in this factory, he looks over at his father and he sees tears welling up in his eyes. And the father kind of just mutters to himself and says, we tried to tell them. We knew how to run the plant better than they did. They would never listen to us.